What is up, legends? We are back in Etheria, and what I want to do today is I was talking to a few people, and they were saying the hardest thing to do is once you get to the point of you're done with story and everything else, like, what do you do? What's your daily routine to actually get stronger? Nobody ever asked me that before. They said daily routine and things to actually get stronger. And I've actually never talked about that. Even in the New Player Guide series, I stopped at this particular point right now, and I never made a video for that. So we're going to make a video for that right now. So my opinion on that is, like, again, this is opinion. It's not a fact or anything else like this. You can kind of do whatever you want to do. But for me personally, how I got to where I am is I picked one character at a time. Each time on one character at a time. But what you can also do is you can pick one character per level of prowess. Now, what I mean by that is that prowess has 3 different levels that it can actually be fed into. You can have the golden lattice prowess. You find somebody purple. And you have the purple lattice or lattice prowess, but then you also have the blue if you want to use blue units, which vices are good. Yeah, the blue ones as well. Vice is a good one for that. And then you also have Kachi, who's also pretty good like that too. And also, I always forget her name, Sybil is pretty good at that as well. And then you also have she got nerfed, number 41, and you have Turned Out as well. So you want to pick one out of those out of each level. Your gold, purple, blue. So back to the one. So whoever is the one that you're going to start with usually is probably going to be your DPS first, whoever a main DPS is. If you have, let's pick somebody. If you have Yelly, let's pick Yelly. Yelly is golden lattice. Yelly is one of the more expensive characters in the game, so you're definitely going to want to actually have all the gold lattices go into her. If you have somebody purple that you want to actually carry with, there's many characters like that. You can just kind of like pick whichever one that is going to be useful to you, whether it be Kraken, Obel, either the Chiakis, both red and green. The new Nilu as well, who is probably right up there along with Lily as far as like your opener. But now that you picked your one character, so now you have to start farming for prowess, which means that you have to start getting it up. Hopefully you have enough of the purple of the gold lattice to actually do that. And you're gonna focus on that character for the day. So you know that now, whatever the build is, you're gonna need that going to, for her, it's probably gonna be Terra Matan or Aurora if you're going after momentum. I do Keen Eye Fury on her, or Fury Edge, of course. So you have to be able to actually beat this, but that's just completely different as far as that. You want to focus more so on that. So you have your prowess to worry about, then you have your modules, and of course whatever of stats you want to work on. Of stats is what I mean by that is what the character is good with those particular stats. So obviously she's crit and crit damage. Do your best to get certain modifiers. For me, with her, I try to get towards 70 or 80%. I'm at 91 right now with crit, and then her crit damage, I definitely like to have a little bit more, but that's pretty good right now. And her speed is pretty good for somebody who's not supposed to be like around that. Accuracy, you can't have everything. Like at the end of the day, you just like it. No, it is what it is. You just can't have it all. But yeah, so then you have your shell, which is problematic in most cases, but if you're lucky enough to actually get the shell to where you need it to be to actually get the 3 stats, like so you have the Keen Eye Fury and the Fury Edge on that, then you also have to worry about the overclocking right here to get that on the attack, which you have your 3 passes that you want to get. I could try to gamble and get better, but it didn't take me forever to actually get this, and it will use a lot of your training data to roll into this. You literally have to, I think in total, it's probably all three of them took me about 5 million training data, which is a lot, which is some stuff even more than that, but to roll all three into red, because I did it all back to back. Remember, we're focusing on one character at a time. You have other characters right there, but if you keep ping-ponging back and forth between multiple characters, you will not have anything built. You have to focus one. Every single character here that you see here that has been built for the most part, I did that one at a time. There's some stuff that just didn't get read for the most part, but some did. But for the most part, I pick one character at a time every day. If I was like, okay, I want to focus on this character, then everything in that day goes to that character, just that character. What ends up happening when you do that, I do this in like every game, which you guys see on my channel. People, it was like, damn, like every game you got like an end game account, and like you do that every game. And I do the same thing every game. I focus one character at a time every single time. So you have your EXP, you have your modules that you want to focus on, you have your prowess right there, and you have your shell. Once you ultimately have all of that done, you can tweak it and everything else like that. So then you move on to the next golden Latisse character and just go down the line. Don't try to do them all at the same time. Of course you're gonna get stuff more the line. We're talking about once you're at the end of story, once you're going into like, you know, going towards the end of hell mode, going into the inferno. This will help you because every built character that you have will make it so that you can do things a whole lot easier. You can move on to the next character. Also will help you if you pay attention to the whole gold, purple, and blue Latisses type of thing. That'll help you so you don't necessarily spreading resources out between multiple characters, because if you try to build two gold Latisse characters at the same time, it's not gonna work. You're just gonna have nothing built. Now if it's a character that doesn't need that, like they like Freya. Freya doesn't really need it. I put it into the 1 for her speed to actually, you know, make her be relatively fast, but for the most part Freya doesn't need these. You can hold off on that. She's one of the characters that doesn't need that much investment. The same thing with Fuchi. She doesn't need that much investment either. So like they just work the way that they are. You can even do that with Mio. Mio just works too. So there's characters that you can just get them to you know, easy prowess points, which is all these caps right here, and just leave them alone for the time being and then come back to them. But then you have characters who are very expensive to use, like William is expensive to actually use. You need to do this. I just don't have anything to actually do this. I'm probably just going to leave it alone for right now as well, because we don't know what's coming in. But she works the way that she works right now. And then she's another example of when she came out, I stopped everything that I was doing and focused on her, basically. Now, obviously, I definitely want to get better stats on all of this, because this is just not, I just don't have anything. And then the double drops, I got no crit damage. Like it just didn't give me that at all, so I just gave up and started doing, you know, like other stuff. But yeah, you get the gist of that. Just go down the line so you can see all this. Ultimately it looks like it's a lot of work. You know, it usually takes like, you know, 2 to 3 days of you picking that one character while you're going through all of the content, and also depend on what happens in the week, basically. Like we have Dazzler going on right now, you can focus on that. Dazzler has interesting stuff here, like this red shadow print. So for the most part, we know that we won't be able to get everything in the store. I don't know why they still haven't officially addressed this stuff. Hopefully they will. And if you're a spender, then you have all of these right here that you can actually pick up too. But for most people who are usually free to play the casual, first thing you're always going to want to get in all of these events is always the red shadow print, because they're the rarest. And then the evolution with Tice, in most cases, just these two alone will knock you out of the rest of everything right here. You won't get the stability, you won't get that orange shadow print. Like I said, I don't understand why this is the way that it is. It just is right now. Hopefully they fix it, and they got tired of me saying that like every video. Same thing with crafting. There's like 10th video in a row I'm saying we need crafting in the damn game. Hopefully we're supposed to get like some type of dev note coming soon like that. Hopefully they address that, say we're getting crafting, because I'll be super happy. But yeah, over it. Currency. You also have your challenges, which are usually going to be the last two things on the bottom. You definitely want to focus on this, because you see this red shadow print right there. So you want to focus on this directly, immediately. This song's a banger. I never noticed it before. Banger song. This is going to be your red shadow print right there with some currency to actually snatch. That's what you focus on most. This is like literally you axe, you trade, you get into world chat, try to get it. Of course you can get like the like, you know, like the stamina and everything else like that, and maybe this right here to get the summon, but this is your focus directly right there to just knock that out. Then you have Cubic Game, which Cubic Game is just literally you just going in and playing cards and making sure that you can knock stuff out. Sometimes you can upgrade stuff and get some really good shadow prints and currency out of it, but it's a really easy type of event to actually help you out during the week. Focusing, bro, where does one loss come from? Like, I just never. Anyway, sometimes I go 10-0, sometimes I go 8-2. I not brother. Like I'm trying to get Jackal Guard, but it's no comment. Just no comment. So yeah. It's also far as that. So now we know, say if we're focusing on one character, so you know that you need to actually get the Terra gear. So what you would want to do is you would go into Terra and then go in and knock it out and just try to make sure that you can continue its battle, and then you're trying to go for the core right there if you're going for the one particular character. Like, so let's say you Lily is your first one, then you won't worry about that. I go slow run on this because there's 5-0s all the time with this team. So you have your Swiss Smite over here on Aurora. You just go into that, depending on if you're doing slow team with Aurora or you're doing fast, and kind of doesn't matter as long as you win. You also have the opportunity to get Strive and Momentum and Fury over here along with Bulwark. That's what you're going for. And then the middle, you have Doki, that you can also get on Swift Raid as well if you're going for that with Swift Raid, with the shells and everything else along with speed. You're usually going to farm Doki a whole hell of a lot. So just make sure that if you're going 5-0, 8-0 or 10-0, just make sure that you're going O period. Like no L's. Just wasting time that way. So, you know, try to look at whatever is going on. Figure out if there's a team that you can actually do in here. Never look at clear time. Try to look at your rankings, see like here, this team works well. Obviously it's going to have Lily in it. So me personally, when I see Lily, I ignore it. Obviously I don't have her, but I'm not going to teach anybody, oh, you got to have Lily, because a lot of people aren't going to have like that. So you want to look for a usable team that's going to actually work and make use out of things like that. So what would work right here? This is an interesting team right here. Obviously you're gonna have Ramoka, Messiah, and Kloss, and then, you know, 2 purple units to go along with that. Again, you kind of want to make use of that. If that's not really helping, recent clear. See what people are doing recently. This is what they got going on recently. Interesting team right here. This Oba right here. Very much doable. 2 purples right here again. Down right here again. Doable if you have Yelly. Here's a Vice team right here. I haven't seen Vice and Doki in a bit. Got a Silence. I don't have Silence yet either. Feels bad. Here's a Doki right here with Yada and interesting. You're gonna see a lot of Lily for the most part, because she facilitates a lot. Because a lot of people haven't, well, most people, they have Lily, they don't need to use Nilu, but you can use Nilu in Lily's place, and you'll be fine. It's just though, if you have Lily, you don't have to. And you see, up there's a Nilu right there. But they put Nilu and Lily. The bird, that's overkill. That's crazy. But you notice that Kazuo is pretty much the mainstay. She's like the main unit in here. She sleeps them, and especially when you start to build her and get purple enticers on her, like, you know, the 555, she dominates this. It becomes crazily easy, more so than anything else like that. So if you have the purple entice and you want a character that you should 6-star to make Doki easy, is 100% this outside of your DPS, because it'll just make the runs all of a sudden become like crazy good and crazy easy. As you can see, everybody is putting, like, you're gonna see 555s all the way through, because she just makes the run so much more better and easy to deal with for the most part. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to actually, you know, talk about. I don't want to ramble on too much more. There's other stuff that I'm gonna talk about in other videos, but this was just something to help you along the way. Just trust me, like, one character at a time. It'll make things a whole lot easier for you once you start having like these characters built, where you literally have like 10 to 15 to 20 characters that's straight built, you know, resources built in, tweaked the way that you wanted to have tweaked. Like, you notice how content becomes so much more easier. What I find is that a lot of people are spreading themselves out too much. When I see people, I say, yo, how did you do this? You just do this and the third. Every time I look at their accounts, it's like, oh, like they're missing pieces. They got blue pieces on that is not hardly built, doesn't have good rolls on it. And I'm like, where are your built characters at? Like, only built character they got is like Lily. Like, brother, you're not going to be anything. Like, so hopefully this again helps guys out. I know this was nerdy. I haven't done any of these in a long time, but people have really been asking. I need to start doing more guides like that to help people get through this, because now they get this a whole bunch of inundation of Endgame. Look at Endgame do this. Look at me do this 20 seconds, and bro, people ain't doing stuff in 20 seconds, dog. Like, like they barely know how to do the game properly. So I gotta dial it back a little bit and start getting people up to speed, because we got a lot of new people in the game as well, and everybody who has been playing is already at where they're at, like where I'm at. So we got to start helping the new generation. Like, it's weird to say it, but there's like new people coming in, so we got to make sure that we're helping them so they can get to this point too. Peace. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I love everybody who stops by. You guys always make my day with your comments. It's always funny and whimsical and gives me a reason to keep going. So be legendary, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.